All right. So, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make two videos real quick because I want to separate the two topics. I don't want to just like talk about the one topic and then roll right into the next one because they're two very different topics. So, let me turn this down a little bit. I've got a couple hours before I'm going to leave to go do my delivery. I'll talk about the delivery and everything else in the next video. In this video, let's talk about I just got into an accident last night or this morning. It was right before my well, not right before, but when was it? It was like 7 p.m. Friday night, and it is now 10 a.m. Saturday morning. So, what happened? Let me try to give a short version because I don't want this video to be terribly long. The next video is going to be really long because I'm going to be looking for loads and stuff. So I'll try to give you the details that you need without all of the intricate detail. It'll take me 2 hours. There was a truck merging on, and I started moving over to the left lane. I put my signal on. I waited about 3 seconds to 5 seconds, and then I started the lane change. Well, there was a four-wheeler in the left lane behind me that, you know what they do whenever a truck starts indicating they're going to move over? They speed up and try to pass you. Well, I continued the lane change, and my tractor was about 3/4 of the way into the lane. Sorry, blocking the whole camera right there. And my trailer, the trailer follows the tractor and whenever you're doing something like that. So it was about halfway into the lane, and he came up and went into the lane with me and started to try to pass me on the shoulder. He thought he could make it around me before I moved over. I mean, he thought he could pass me, I guess. Um, and he just tried to pass me. He made it halfway up my trailer onto the shoulder and realized how small the shoulder was. It wasn't like a full size shoulder, it was a small shoulder that was probably, I don't know, 4 to 6 feet or so. And he saw that there was like guardrails and bridges and stuff that made it even narrower. And he slammed on his brakes, fell in behind me, and I completed the pass. He comes up alongside me after I get back over in the right hand lane, is flashing his lights and waving his phone at me up next to my cab, like assholes do. That kind of stuff happens all the time. You have a lot of aggressive drivers out here on the road. This is probably like the sixth time somebody's tried to pass me on the shoulder. Um, then he fell back in behind me and just started tailgating me. Well, I was getting around the time, this all happened around the time that I was looking for a place to pull over and take a 30. So I've got this aggressive driver tailgating the shit out of me, and I'm not wanting to pull over at a rest area and get into a fight with somebody. So, it just so happened I came across an open way station, so I pulled in there, and this guy followed me in. And I'm thinking, well, he's bold. Well, we pulled in there, and the DOT guy comes out to find out why there's a four wheeler out there and why I pulled in. And he talks with the guy at the SUV, and then I get out of my truck while he's talking to the guy at the SUV, and I start walking over there after I parked. And he tells me to just wait in my truck. He'll come over there and talk with me after he talks with him. And he came over there a few minutes later, and he said, "That guy said you hit him. Why didn't you stop?" And I said, "Well, number one, I didn't know I hit him. And number two, the only reason I stopped here is because he's an aggressive driver that tried to pass me on the shoulder, and he got pissed off and started flashing his lights at me and stuff, and then started tailgating me, and I pulled in here to get rid of him. Um, a safe place. I didn't want to pull over on the side of the road to fight with this guy. I wanted to fight here." But no, he was claiming that I hit him, that I just merged over and sideswiped him. So anyway, what the cop did was he tried to get the stories together to try to figure out what was going on. I told you what happened. What this guy was claiming happened was he was alongside me, and I just merged into him and hit him. He said when I came into his lane, he slammed on his brakes, and I hit him. Like he said, once I saw him coming over to me, I slammed on my brakes, and he just swiped me. That's his version of events. Doesn't mention anything about him being on the shoulder or nothing like that. So anyway, he was just blatantly lying. So I didn't get near the guy or his vehicle, so I didn't get to see the damage on his vehicle or hear exactly what he said. I got everything from the DOT officer. DOT officer kept us separated. We were about 100 feet apart. And the DOT officer said that there was no damage on the trailer. He couldn't find a scratch. Well, there were a lot of scratches on the trailer, but he couldn't find one associated with this incident. Um, but he said that the SUV had damage that was so insignificant. It was just a little scratch on the mirror that could probably be like buffed out. He said that the guy told him, well, the DOT officer asked what type of report I wanted filed because that guy wanted a report filed. And I said, I don't know what kind of reports there are. And he said, well, I can do a crash report or I can do an offense report. And I said, what's the difference? He said, well, a crash report goes on both your driving records and it will affect your insurance. It'll show up as a crash. An offense report is just statements that you can give to your insurance company about what happened. And I said, well, I don't want anything on my driving record. And he said, okay, well, you both have to agree to the type of report, so I'll go ask him what he wants. And that guy told him that he wanted the offense report as well. He said the only reason that he said if it was his personal vehicle, he would just keep going, but it was a company vehicle that he was driving, an SUV, and he said that his company policy is that anytime they're involved in any kind of incidents, I want to get a cup of milk. I'm thirsty. Anytime they're involved in any kind of incident, they have to get a police report on it. So that's the reason he was demanding a report so that he wouldn't get in trouble with his company for turning in a vehicle with a scratch on it. And he was lying his ass off so he wouldn't get in trouble with his company for passing somebody on the damn shoulder. So the DOT guy said that we had different stories and he didn't know who was telling the truth. So he said that he could just write down the reports of what we're both claiming, and he can't write on the report who's at fault because he doesn't have enough. Like there's no way for him to prove. He doesn't know which one of us is telling the truth, basically. What happened after that? He said that anytime there's an incident like that, he needs to inspect the truck, and so he did a level 1 on me, which I passed. And then he just gave me a piece of paper with the reference number for the report and told me good to go. But that whole process took like 3 hours. So I wasted a bunch of my time. The guy, the idiot number one, put my life at risk by pulling that stupid maneuver of trying to pass me on the damn shoulder while there was a truck merging on. And we were going downhill, so it's not like I could come to a stop after I realized this idiot was trying to pass me on the shoulder. That other truck was in the lane by then, and we were going downhill. I wouldn't have been able to stop in time for that moron. So he put my life at risk, number one. He put multiple lives at risk with that stupid maneuver. Then he lied his ass off about it and wasted a ton of my time. I'm really upset about the whole incident right now, and I'm concerned about how it's going to affect me. Like, I'm wanting to get on with Landstar. That's my big thing is I want to get on with Landstar in February, and I'm like, Landstar is really picky about who they take, and I don't know how this is going to impact me. Now, I'm a very by the book person. I'm an incredibly honest person. If I do something wrong, I'm the type of person that I'll admit. I'll say, yeah, I screwed up. I did something stupid. I'm that type of person. And because I'm very by the book and everything, even though the guy told me that he wasn't, he didn't tell me, but he told the DOT officer that he wasn't going to make an insurance claim on this. It wasn't insurance claimable because the damage was so minor. It was below the deductible. So the guy flat out told the DOT officer that this was not going to be reported in any way. He just wanted the incident report to show to his company what happened on the scratch. So USA Truck's never going to find out about this unless I tell them. But I told them because I'm a by-the-book person. I just am concerned about how the USA Truck is going to file this. If it's just going to be an internal company incident, and somebody hit me, some moron passed me on the shoulder, realized that the shoulder was too narrow to pass on, and then slammed on their brakes and clipped me, um, and caused almost no damage in the process of being stupid. So this should not be a negative mark against me in any way, shape, or form. But I'm still afraid that it could somehow impact my ability to get hired on with Landstar, and it really pisses me off. Like, I'm such a safe driver, and it ticks me off that people still do ridiculously stupid. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter how safe you are. Like, the reason this guy tried to pass me is because of how cautious I was doing the lane change. I started the lane change really early. I turned on my signal for like 3 to 5 seconds before I even started the lane change, and then I was slowly changing lanes. Like, I didn't like whip over real quick because there was this wasn't like one of those things where somebody merged on, I was just like whipping over. No, this was like 3 to 5 seconds of signal, and then I slowly started moving over into the lane, and about halfway through the lane change, I realized that this guy had accelerated and was starting to come up on me on the shoulder, and by that time UPS was starting to merge on, and he didn't have anywhere to go, and he was hauling ass down that on ramp, and we were going down a damn hill, so he was able to build up speed really quick, and going downhill, 2 trucks, we're not stopping. So it was either risk hitting him and the other car that was in the right hand lane, that was alongside UPS as he was merging on, because there was another car up in front of me. It was either risk hitting those two people or just maintain my lane and see what this idiot on the shoulder was going to do. So I didn't have a whole lot of options because of the situation that this moron put me into. But I don't know. It just pisses me off about, like, you can only minimize risk. You can't completely get rid of it. And there's so many dumbasses out here on the road that do dumbass things, and I mean, unfortunately, you're at their mercy. You can be as safe as possible. You can signal for 20 minutes. Well, you don't want to signal for 20 minutes. They'll, ignore your signal if you signal that long. But I mean, you can do everything right, and people can still do stupid stuff around you and put you in dangerous situations. So anyway, let's try to wrap this video up, and then we'll do the load board video afterwards. Anything else? Yeah, we did the DOT report on it. Did the level 1 inspection. Reported it to USA Truck's accident hotline thing. Gave them all the information, pictures of the accident report and stuff. Or offense report, technically. And hopefully they don't put it on my DAC. I'm gonna, like, snap. Hopefully safety gives me a call next week and talks to me about it, because I want to find out how exactly they're going to file this. But if it's just an internal company thing, then it won't matter outside USA Truck at all. But if they put it on my DAC, it could affect my ability to get hired on a Landstar, and that really chaps my ass. So we'll see what happens. Dumb people doing dumb things, and this moron doing something stupid, trying to avoid getting in trouble and not being able to, use company vehicles anymore. And he's jeopardizing my entire career by doing it. This is, I'm really thinking I'm going to buy, now, a camera, the type of camera USA Truck wants to install in everybody's vehicles, would not have helped in this situation at all. I would have had to have, like, a rear-facing camera to catch any of this. So I think I'm going to look into getting a camera set up that records forward, and see if I can get 2 side cameras recording backward for a CYA in these type of incidents. Because, if driving's your career, people are just going to, like, if you ever get into an incident or an accident, you're going to be like my jaw dropped at the story this guy told. I couldn't believe that he just sat there with a straight face telling the lie that he told. It just I couldn't I still I can't believe somebody can just sit there and lie like that, like look you right in the face and just lie to you. So I really want to get a camera system now so that I can have something to cover me if this happens again, because I don't know, this is scaring me. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.